been like working with so many young players?
It's been all of the things, but mostly fun. This group is really positive, eager. They have lots of stick-to-itiveness, and they haven't been defeated. Right, these are tough times. We're putting them in situations. They're getting all sorts of great experiences, and it's easy to swing with it high and low, high and low. But what I've been really impressed by, and credit to some of our veteran leadership, is their consistency in their approach day in and day out as they're learning to become pros. So I've just enjoyed every single one of them in terms of helping them to learn what it's like to be a pro and to navigate a tough season.
That second level help, it kind of helped the helper aspect of defense tonight. New York seemed to really take advantage of some slow rotations. How do you work on improving that when you have that lack of roster continuity and injuries and all those things?
Yeah, I mean, this group really needs reps. It's one thing to see it on film, but for younger players, they need to feel it, and they need to do it over and over and over again. And so, no excuses, but finding those times in practice are few and far between. So that's what you see out there. We're just inconsistent. We have very good moments where we're executing well and it looks like we're proactive and we're seeing things that are happening and we're one step ahead. And then we have a couple of possessions where now we're very reactive and New York's dictating and we're one step behind. So it's consistency is what we're trying to establish.
Coach, what was your message to the team during halftime? They showed a great fight in the third quarter. What did you say to the team?
Yeah, I really wanted us to not let one side of the ball impact the other. And so I thought we just weren't very good offensively in terms of just simple things. They spoke to it, right? We were just turning the ball over. We weren't establishing good space. We weren't being physical screeners. And then shots weren't going in, nor were we generating good shots. And so when the offense feels bad, it's easy to let that impact the other side. And I thought we were lackadaisical on the defensive end. I didn't love our intensity and our pressure. So just challenge them to not let one side of the ball impact the other. And then I thought what you saw, the game got really physical in the third quarter, and we picked it up. We fouled a lot, sure, but we were aggressive and we were dictating more, and we were able to get more stops and run. And now when you can get some easy offense, then when it does slow down, you can execute better offensively because now the ball has gone in. So it was just don't let one side of the ball impact the other. Let's have a consistency defensively because that's the side of the ball that we can absolutely control all the time.
It's been a tough season. How would you guys say you've dealt with the critical feedback, which I guess I'm a part of apparently, the critical feedback? How would you say you guys have dealt with that as a team?
Yeah, that's your job, first off, so there's no hard feelings. Nothing. I'm not taking anything personal. I look at myself, it's all information, right? And we're all professionals and we're all trying to be better. So information is information, and you've got to be able to sift through it and take what you can learn from it and then not let, something else impact you, which is easier said than done, right? So everyone's growing. Right? We've got a lot of young ones, but again, I've been really impressed for the most part about their ability to be in control of our narrative and not let others shape our narrative, and really take ownership and charge of that, even when it feels just awful and you're losing tight games and you want it to be different. So you got to get through hard for this to get better. And so, again, just thumbs in, not pointing at others, not pointing blame, and again, letting you guys do your job and not taking that personal, but knowing where we can get better and holding ourselves accountable.
Enrique was effective getting to the rim, especially in the third quarter. Just what did you see from her that maybe you can build on offensively, since there's also some seals involved as well too from the bigs?
Yeah, again, loved her aggression to just get down lane lines. I thought, they weren't really switching as much as they were in that last game. So now I thought she did a good job of really keeping her dribble, right, hesitating and seeing, okay, now I can really attack post feed and get pieces of the paint. But that's what we need, right? I don't want us to just continue to settle for mid-range, settle for step backs. And so when Enrique can get to the rim like that, it's just going to continue to open up things, not only for herself, but for everybody else.
Sure. I know you already talked about a little bit, another good good rebounding night. But just talk about the other things on defense in terms of when they were able to kind of mess them a little bit to where they were passing out of bounds and kind of fighting for it a little bit more, not just in that third quarter, but just overall in the game.
Yeah, just intensity, activity, energy, to be able to get deflections, right? Like, just challenge them with our ball pressure. I thought in the first half, like, we looked silly a bunch. You know, they were beating us on lots of cuts off the ball, and you know that stuff's going to happen off the ball. But what can help you is if you have pressure on the ball and you can take away vision. And so we did more of that in the second half, and took away some vision to help give protection to some of the screening actions behind the ball.
You went with Grace in that third quarter despite her having 4 fouls already. What did you see, and why was she kind of primarily at the point guard in that frame?
Yeah, just a steadiness, just a steadiness and an organization and a calmness that she brings on both sides of the ball, and the fact that she can continue to push the pace. And I like that she gets it where it needs to go, and she just she's been a really positive impact for us. So going to continue to lean on Grace, and then everybody else as well, right? That's with a young team. It's, you know, everyone's stepping into roles, and each night it's going to be different. Like, I want it to be so consistent every night and know, like, we're going to get this from this player and this from this player, but that's just not the reality when you have such a young group that hasn't lived through this all the time. So they've just got to be ready, right? Some nights it might be extended minutes for you. And so that's what we're working towards, right? As they continue to grow and learn, it's, can we develop more consistency so that, you know, our teammates can rely on us, like they know what I'm going to get every night. There's going to be more dependability, and that'll continue to come with all these young ones.
Rob on the Zoom.
Thank you. Rob Tiox in the podium finish. Coach, Aisha just highlighted how strong the team chemistry is and how the players are really connecting. So from your perspective, what does it say about this group's character and commitment to push hard and keep morale high with all the challenges this season? And how does that energy shape what you're trying to build here in Dallas?
Yeah, credit to our veterans, credit to our locker room, and credit to their intention, again, to stay together, to focus on the process more than the outcome, and to focus on each other. And again, control our narrative, and really be about the right things and want to continue to lay solid foundation and solid footing here in Dallas as we continue to go forward.
Last one at Asia.
Hi, Coach. Asia from W Swish. I just kind of wanted to piggyback off that a little bit, because I know in today's game it was a low-scoring start, a slow start for you guys. But how do you, as a coach, keep your team together, like in situations like that, to keep them in the right mindset in games like this today?
Yeah, you know, you got to feel it out, right? What's the balance of when do they need to be challenged and pushed versus when do they need to be supported in those moments? And so, you know, tiptoeing that line and feeling it out. But I thought at halftime, you know, challenging them a little bit, and then them, again, really it's on them, right? Like, get in there, challenge them, and then challenge them to talk amongst each other and figure it out and hold each other accountable to figure out how we can be better on the floor going forward.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Recording stopped.